You see, God had to remove you from these people's lives because every time something went wrong, every time something went awry, all they did was blame you. All they did was look at you and point the fingers at you as if it was your fault, as if you caused all this to happen. They were blaming you for things that you didn't even do. Something would fall over there and then they would try to say, did you go do that? It's like it was so easy for them to look at you and blame you for the issues or for problems or anything going wrong than it was for them to take accountability. You see, those people made you out to be their scapegoat. They wanted you to be their doormat. They wanted the doormat for them to just walk all over. They wanted you to play the role of the punching bag so that they can release all of their emotion onto one person to keep the peace with everybody else. But baby, that's not your role. No, baby. Why should you, at the expense of your mental health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health, why should you at that expense have to endure this type of pain and this type of trauma, this type of toxicity just to keep the peace? No, baby, that's not what we're doing no more. That's why God removed you from that situation, because those people was getting too comfortable disrespecting you. They was getting a little too comfortable mistreating you. They was getting way too comfortable. So comfortable to the point where they was taking it way too far. Way too far. And it got to a point where God's like, you know what? Listen, y'all can't constantly blaming my child for these problems. What happens if I remove my child for the situation and your problem still persists? Who you gonna blame now? You can't blame them because they're not here. You cannot blame them because they are not here. So who's to blame now? Well, no, don't go pointing fingers at everybody else. Who's to blame? Why don't you go look in the mirror and go find the person that's to blame? You see, that's what God was trying to do. God was basically trying to show these people that they can't keep sitting up here and avoiding their own responsibility, avoiding their own accountability. They could no longer continue to avoid their own emotions. They had to look in the mirror and realize that they have issues too, that they have problems too. And it's not everybody else. It's not always everybody else's fault. Even though it's easy to blame somebody else because it's more difficult to face yourself in the mirror, God had to humble these people. God had to remove you from the situation while also bringing them down a few notches so that they can humble themselves. And God may have even had you present in one of those moments of seeing them be humbled. But God was testing you as well, because if you see it, that's fine, but you have the right to remain silent. Got you?